I got to give a shout out to someone, a poet, who did something really dope recently. Yesterday, I got to go see a poet do their very first poetry reading, like their first solo feature, right? And the reason why this is notable, because that happens a lot, but the reason why this one is notable is because this poet took my advice. She watched my videos about booking yourself and she did it like almost immediately. And yesterday was the culmination of that decision. And it was amazing, right? Like, she had not done a poetry reading before, like as a solo reader. She'd gone to open mics and stuff, but she's not a published poet. She's not a known poet. She's not even known locally like that as a poet. But she supports poets. She goes to readings. She writes. She goes to workshops. And she loves doing it. And so she reached out to me after the videos that I did about booking yourself, right? And about artists needing sometimes to do that instead of waiting for opportunities, starting to build the constructs that will allow your art to exist in the world and maybe for you to exist in the world. And so she reached out to me and she was like, hey, I want to book myself in your venue. And I was like, what are you trying to do? And she's like, poetry feature. I was like, word? And I thought about it and I considered, the schedule, and I considered my bandwidth, and I considered, the resources that might need to be applied to such an event at this time. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And so, and yesterday she did it. And the place was packed. Like the people that support her, people that support the venue, like there was this wonderful mix of audience. People who've been there before all the time, people who've never been there before. Like there was like a couple of families, people brought their kids, situation. Like it was great. And it was packed. We had to bring more chairs out. Like it was truly something to see, right? Like, and it's not about whether or not she's the best poet in the city. That's not even a goal for her. The point is that she stepped into what she wanted to be. She made that happen for herself. You know what I'm saying? I know people who are incredible artists who've had years or even decades in the game that would not step out to book themselves. They are resigned to the system, right? They are resigned and maybe even dedicated to doing things a certain way, right? To being seen a certain way and to having their work received in certain ways. And I'm like, yo, that's cool. Fine. But do you. Whatever your value system is what you're going to do anyway. Right? So a lot of your decisions as an artist are going to be predetermined by your value system. And so for her, the whole thing was like, I just want to book myself. I just want to do my thing. I just want to be out there and put my stuff into the world. And she did that. And it wasn't a free event, to be clear. It wasn't even necessarily a cheap event, right? That $10 tickets. You understand? Right? Like people walk around going to like open mics and poetry shows and they act like that's supposed to be free. And people are booking poets like they're supposed to be free. And that is not my value system at all, right? Like, if you create something, you put it into the world and people like it, and you think that has a certain kind of value and they think it has a certain kind of value, then they pay for that, right? So I just thought like, wow, there's so many things to take away from this moment. So many lessons in this moment for other artists by someone who probably, struggles to call herself an artist, but not after yesterday. And her name is Marquita Byers. I was thinking about whether or not I should say her name at all, but that's her name. Marquita Byers is her name. And I'm really proud of her, and I'm really proud of the audience, and I'm really proud of my art form. And I feel really good about artists today, which, as you know, if you follow me for some time, that could be a challenge some days. And so I'm just really, really, really gratified and proud, and I'm just so happy someone took my advice.